Y'all see the title. Florida mom has sex with a family dog on video. Let's get into the video.
And I just woke up and I have no idea what's going on.
We'll talk to, I'm just reading you the search warrant. Do you understand?
A young mother in Florida on body camera, and she'll later admit to engaging in sex acts with the family dog and more. I have the disturbing case out of Florida and what else White told police.
How do you even... Hey, man.
Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy, and just a reminder, we are now available on MELLOW, Florida. And Samantha Lee White, is a petite blonde from North Fort Myers, Florida.
What does that have to do with anything? Why did you have to say that?
Child, which makes it really sad that she's on her way to prison, and she's going there for sex crimes against animals, specifically a dog. This case started in February 2024 when police and deputies went to her home with a search warrant. They were looking for electronic devices.
Yeah. Just have her get the child and then come down and then you can...
So get the child first and then read it. I'll follow her in there.
What is that called? Like bestiality or something? I think that's what it's called.
When I come get the baby, I'll follow you in there.
My whole thing is why? Like what?
Ruger, shut up. Wait 1 second, you're walking too fast for me.
Sorry, I just
I'm not here.
So the officer follows Samantha White up to the second floor of the house, and there are already other officers there with the little boy.
You got Twinkle Star in your mocap? Yeah. Can we put it back in your crib? He's just been hanging out. Just.
I want to grab a blanket since
Hey.
I'll be outside.
Hey, buddy.
What's.
Is that what you...
For me, I have shoes. Yes, they can be
They're
out by the
downstairs?
door.
Okay. All right.
Buddy, some people came to protect us today. Yeah. Yeah, that is your Wendy. Can you go in here real quick, please? I don't know if that's going to mess with anything. I just don't want him to run up the door.
No, yeah, I hear you.
He's a little one that he won't let me see but catch him. Is she up here?
Yeah.
I mean, let's get to it, man. Like,
Yeah, Mama got shoe on, baby. Yeah, all the cars supposed to protect us.
Oh.
Say hi, everybody. Yeah, there are your mother's cars.
Watching this is really, really sad, knowing what we know now and seeing this child in the video because his mom is going to be arrested and is now on her way to prison. The officer then reads the search warrant to Samantha White.
I'm gonna... Let's begin over here.
Going back to like.
Yeah, right here where it's warm a little. Alright, so I'm gonna read you this. We have a search warrant for the residence, okay? It's gonna be under agency case number with Lee County 24-06919.
The charges in Samantha White's case are concerning to say the very least. I looked her up on truthfinder.com to see what might come up. Truthfinder is one of the largest public records search services in February. Truthfinder is social media where you can view .truth. The officer reads the description of the house in the warrant, but then the officer tells her why they are actually there and what they think they will find.
This is what we're searching the house for. The law prohibits sexual performance by a child controlled by Florida State Statute 827.0 071 subsection 5 of the Florida state statute. The firm has probable cause to believe and does believe that the property connected with the above listed crime is currently being contained, stored, or concealed within the following location. Direction to locate, and this is just the address of how we got here. We're from the Lee County Sheriff's Office. We came from 14750 6 Mile Cypress, 1 Mile, Florida, headed towards Independence Circle. Basically, this is just the address of how we arrived here. And the following items is what we're going to be looking for. Images or videos of child endangered in sexual conduct defined in Florida State Statute 827.071.
I don't understand.
Hold on,
I can't have you read this right now. Like,
Okay.
I didn't even take it this morning. And
All right, hon.
and I just woke up and I have no idea what's going on. Oh.
We'll talk to. I'm just reading you the search warrant. Do you understand?
I think you know already. I think she already knows, and she's just trying to act like it. She's just trying to act like she don't know.
Do you want to?
I think I get an understanding.
Do you want me to keep reading, or do you want to look at it yourself?
I'll look at it myself.
Okay, just. Well, we're gonna be looking for electronics, basically. That can. Are you okay? I know this is a pretty hard. I'm sorry, I made your mind baby.
And that's what I just don't want, because I can't give him to his dad, and I can't give him to anybody that I don't trust, and I just need a minute.
The judge was well, I'll just read the final. You can look at it in a minute. The warrant was presented to the judge on the 14th, which was yesterday, who approved it.
So this is an investigation about child pornography, child sex abuse materials. This is very, very serious.
All right, questions? So basically, we're gonna search.
Yes.
As soon as the house is, we're done, we'll turn it back over. We're gonna talk to you about this.
Okay.
Okay. You have any questions for us?
At some point, I need a water and to use the restroom.
Okay.
Other than that.
Yeah, we can do that. All right.
And then at some point, I would also like to go in the little garden area just so I can set him down and he can play.
Okay. Perfect. So let me just coordinate with them, and I'll be right back.
And when can I see my husband?
In a minute.
Okay.
We'll talk to you guys.
Okay.
And just for the record, this warrant was served at 7:47 a.m. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. I'll be right back.
I'll get to Samantha White's husband, John White, in a bit, but first, I'll tell you what police say Samantha White told them. The detective said that White told them that she was fascinated by a male horse's anatomy and would look up videos and photos of it online. White also told the detectives that she looked up videos of horses engaged in sex with other horses and with a woman. Police said this led to other revelations from White that she would only discuss with a female detective. Samantha White then admitted to having sex with her family dog. She decided to try it since the horse's anatomy interested her so much, but she told the detective the interaction with the dog wasn't her thing. Now back to the body camera video.
Oh,
She
really?
started crying, so she didn't want to finish it. I'm like, we're looking for electronics.
You told her she's gonna have the copy of it.
Yeah, I said this is going to be a copy, and I told her that the judge who authored the search when I showed her the day and time.
Okay. The only other thing we're gonna try is we want to have her come in and get the dog. There's one little section we couldn't clear.
Okay.
So if we can have her either leave
Okay,
little guy.
first of all, I don't even know where does that even stem from? You looking up horses having sex and you're just so interested in the horse's penis. You have a husband. Why you not? I feel like your husband's penis is the only penis you should be obsessed with. All right. She said she's finna get to him, so we just finna keep watching the video. But it's just like, what the hell is going on?
Or
She said she does.
she can keep it with her. That's fine.
Wait, I have her
We just
come
want to put
And it's
put him
crazy.
on a lead.
It's crazy to me how this was literally like a year and some what year and a month, like 2 months, something like that. And this is just now coming out. Like, it'd be weird how body cam footage comes out like so late. Well, not all of them. Some of them you see it there from 2025, but like you see crazy shit happen. And it'd be from like 2023, 2022, and it's just now coming out now.
Leash or let's just find out. I'll go with you. Let's just see if we can find a spot. 137.
Yeah,
That's poop everywhere.
too late. I don't know how many times I had stepped on everything.
Ma'am, is there anywhere we can put the dogs besides that space while we're here? Or are they allowed outside?
I can let them out over here, and then they'll be trapped in there, and nobody
Will
else
that be
will
okay
have
with you?
access. Yes.
It'll just help us
I just
speed
prefer
things up.
me.
No, we
to do
would prefer
I
you to
just
do it
don't
as
know
well.
how they would react to
Okay.
anybody else.
Are you
yes.
able to help do that right now? Okay.
I sure am. When we go in, is there a way I can just get a sip of water before we do
absolutely.
that?
For sure. Yeah, we can do all that. No worries.
I need to use the restroom.
Yeah.
But I'm not using that one.
So the detectives go into the house to get the family's dogs.
Do you mind if she holds the baby really?
I feel bad for the dogs. I don't feel bad for her. You on some weird shit, okay? First of all, you even like, bro, like where do people get these weird fascinations from? That's my thing. I don't understand. Like, okay, don't get me wrong. Like, there's some like I feel like weird is subjective. There's things that like I might be interested in. But like, come on, bro. Like, I feel like what's really weird off the edge. Like, yo, that's a little odd. And then there's things that are not normal. Okay. Like, let's say if somebody like, okay, I like feet. Okay, everybody don't like feet, but that's not like, oh, that's weird. You're a weirdo for liking that. You know, like, so you feel like, I feel like there's levels to this. Where do these type of like how do people have these type of thoughts? Like, so you was interested in a horse's anatomy so much that you said, I'm gonna try this out with a dog, and be like, yeah, no, I didn't like it. I mean, it just be acting normal, like ain't just happened. That dog is traumatized.
Quite what we do.
Well, you don't know, but I would think so.
I do.
Okay, that's fine.
No, that's okay.
This will just need to be moved, and we'll have to close this behind us. Otherwise, the dogs will run right out this way.
Perfect. Okay. If you guys want to grab your breach, we're going to close this.
Yeah, Mama knows a little
Feel you want to...
I don't know.
I don't think we need it.
It's yours.
It'd be good.
I'm getting a glass of water before we do this.
Let's do it.
Yeah? Yeah, Runny knows. It's okay, though, baby.
We're just gonna let them out in the front yard, or what?
Yeah, so they're gonna end up going right around this way, and they'll go right in the front yard.
Okay.
They are very friendly.
Yeah, I'm not
They
worried.
just,
Yeah, we're not worried. We deal with dogs all the time.
okay, one's gonna come right away.
They worry about you, not the dogs.
That gate's closed, right?
Yeah, I think they just closed it.
They're gonna come this way, John?
They're gonna come right.
Hey, Chloe! Hey, Chloe! Hey,
Hey!
Outside. Outside. Outside.
Go outside! Outside!
No, you guys know not that way. Not that way. Stella, Luna, Ruger.
The 3 dogs are removed from the house, and now the detectives have to make sure that Samantha White is out of the house.
Right to Jim.
Grabbing his bicycle, so I should say.
Yeah, that's fine. You need to use the restroom really quick, right?
Yeah, but
It's gonna be.
Wait, I'm so they're here looking for. I'm assuming they're gonna be seizing all electronic devices. They said they was looking for child porn. Like, what where did that even come from? Like, was the dad involved with that? Like, did he have child porn on? Like, he's not here, so I'm assuming that he has something to do with the child porn, and then she has something to do with the animal, like with the dog. Like, yo.
I will be fine for at least another 10 minutes.
Okay.
Can we stay in here or is that a no-go?
She wants to know if they can stay over there. Yeah, I can stay over there. That's fine.
Or you want to look at Tarzan? Okay.
You got all those, and then that one comes from you know, and he's like, hey.
I did. I cleared it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes, it's good. Yep.
Yeah, I
That day, Samantha White was arrested and charged with having sexual contact with animals. She was released the very next day after posting bail. Samantha's husband, John White, was interviewed by detectives.
He looked like he got some crazy shit going on with him. He looked like yeah.
The police report says John denied knowledge of how his cell phone could have ended up inside the toilet bowl where it was located by detectives after John took an extended amount of time to exit the residence during the search warrant service and announcements of law enforcement. John advised there were pictures of himself, his wife Samantha, and Samantha having sex with a canine on his cell phone. The canine involved in the sexual acts with Samantha is their chocolate male Labrador retriever. John believes there are 1 or 2 files depicting Samantha engaging in sex acts with their canine sometime in the end of last year, 2023, or the beginning of this year, 2024. John stated that day of the incident, Samantha and he were drinking and the canine was being annoying. John does not recall who mentioned engaging in sexual acts with the canine, but believes it would have been Samantha. And Samantha had apparently told the police that she would sometimes think about this stuff when she was drinking. The report says that John White admitted to recording Samantha engaging in the sex acts with the dog. John White was also arrested and charged with filming and possessing images or videos of animal sexual activity in February of 2024. Then last July, he was booked into the jail again after being charged with several counts of possession of child pornography.
There you go. Okay.
At the same time, Samantha White was also charged with possessing and transmitting child pornography. Then earlier this month,
and they got
Samantha,
a kid. Hold on, they have a kid though. Was it with their kid or like he just had a whole bunch of? Because we watch predator videos all the time. You feel me? So I didn't even know this was a part of that. But bro, what the fuck? Like y'all got a kid? I hope y'all God, please don't tell me it had nothing to do with that child.
White pleaded guilty to 3 counts of sexual activity involving animals. Those child pornography charges were actually dropped. She was sentenced to 3 years in prison and 3 years probation after her release. I want to bring in Dr. Daniel.
I'm sorry though. I feel like, could they not find the child pornography? Because I feel like that is more serious. I feel like they equally as serious. If you having sex with a dog, okay, look, how does that even work? I feel like it's not like was she sucking the dog's because how you just gonna make the dog have sex with her? I don't think the dog was penetrating her. I mean, they know how to do it because they know how to do it with other dogs, but I'm like,
Bober. He's a forensic psychiatrist to talk a little bit about this case. Dr. Bober, I've talked to you a little bit about bestiality before. I mean, it's a really touchy, kind of gross subject, but we have a woman here who's been sentenced to 3 years in prison. And when the police went to her door, she apparently readily admitted that she had a fascination with, certain parts of animals' anatomy. She discussed horses, she discussed dogs, and the investigation kind of unfolded from there. They went there with a search warrant because they had some information about her possibly having some child sex abuse material, things like that. So where does this come from? Where do people develop these fascinations?
So just some clarification on some of these terms. So zoophilia is classified as a paraphilia, which is an atypical or deviant sexual interest. So the zoophilia is the sexual urges or sexual fantasies about animals. Now, that in and of itself, believe it or not, is not a mental illness until there is some level of distress or impairment or some negative consequence. Bestiality is the illegal part. It's the behavior. It's having sex or sexual relations with animals. And so that's the part that is illegal in a lot of different jurisdictions. A lot of these types of behaviors are more studied often in men than in women. But we know that people who have paraphilias very often will have a history of childhood sexual abuse. where they have distorted sexual development and problems with normal boundaries. Very often they suffer from emotional neglect. In terms of mental health disorders, we can see sometimes they can suffer from psychosis, personality disorders, antisocial behavior, borderline personality disorder, problems with attachment, problems with boundaries, obviously a no regard for the rights of the animals or the way it's affecting the animals. And sometimes they have problems with impulse control or ADHD. A lot of us have fantasies, but that doesn't mean we have to act on them. So those people have trouble controlling their impulses. They have an inability to exercise restraint, and they will often act on these deviant fantasies. And of course, there are people who use substances, and so the substances will lower their inhibitions, and they will act out these fantasies. They rationalize their behavior. They, basically say, "Oh, this is no big deal. The animal is not being affected by it." They minimize the harm, which of course we know there's tremendous harm. And then a lot of people who have social isolation and have trouble attaching to other human beings will sometimes do this. So there are a variety of factors that are at play that can make this occur.
So the zoophilia is when you're just thinking about it and fixating on it. It moves into a crime and becomes bestiality when you actually act on it.
Correct.
Well, they say she acted on it. I guess she was sentenced for having sexual interactions, relations with 4 dogs.
4?
And this was discovered, I guess. There were videos of this, some other things. There was some mention about her husband, who also has been charged in this case, but his case is pending. He has not been sentenced yet. The phone being found in the toilet tank, things like that. So, I mean, she's going to prison for 3 years for this down in Florida. 3 years sounds like a really long time. And she's going to be on the animal abuser registry. So, she,
Yo, I didn't
obviously,
even know there was that. I know, like, you can be a sexual offender, like a sex offender. You got to get put on the register. You got put on the registry, for, sexually assaulting or, doing something to another human. But like, I didn't know there was one for animals. That's crazy.
This had to have been pretty significant for them to sentence her to 3 years in prison. Plus, she'll be on probation when she gets out. Can they just
go ahead and just release the info? Like, what did she do? Y'all keep saying relations. What the did she actually do?
Yeah, I mean, harming an animal, a completely defenseless creature. I mean, I think we've talked about this before. I mean, I have 2 myself. I think you have dogs too.
Yes.
So for someone like me, I find it particularly offensive. These animals, they're so special. They're really like our kids. And for someone to come after them, it's really a very similar type reaction. So I can see where someone would sort of hit them hard with a sentence to send a message that this is not acceptable behavior, especially when you're preying upon creatures that are totally defenseless, totally innocent, and obviously can't speak and defend themselves. So it's a pretty horrific crime.
When somebody goes to prison and they're sentenced for something like this, I mean, 3 years in prison, plus she's already, I guess, been in jail for a time too. I kind of think to myself, well, she's going to be in prison for a time. There are programs in prison. There's programming that you can take part in. I guess she has a choice. Do you go to prison and you do your time and then you just get out? Or do you make some use of your time in there and then you get out and you're on this animal abuser registry and you're on probation? I mean, how do you treat something like this? Like, how do you get better? So when you get out, you don't kind of go back to the same behavior and do this again.
So as I touched on before, there's a complex psychological picture of someone who would engage in this type of behavior. So someone like this that I look at, I would say, they would need what we call cognitive behavioral therapy or trauma-informed care. We need to look at the factors that led to this type of behavior. I would want to look at that relationship that she was in with her husband prior to this occurring. How much.
But I feel in the whatever they had, when the little description, whatever they had, when they was explaining, they said that the dog was being annoying and they were drinking at night. I don't understand why Like what did the dog being annoying have to do with her having sexual relations with it? Like was he just like it just like I don't understand that at all.
Did he play into this? Was he someone that encouraged it? Was he more passive? Was he complicit? I would want to know a lot more about her background to think about what would be the best way to treat her.
Mm-hmm. What's really concerning about this too, when the police went to the home to execute this search warrant, there was a child in the home. I mean, she's holding a child while the police are there. So we don't know exactly everything that happened in that house, and you never know what happens behind closed doors at somebody's house. But there was a child in the home when this activity was going on. Again, we don't know where the child was located when it was happening. But that's a pretty grave concern too, that this type of behavior, sex with a dog, sexual activity with a dog involving both parents, apparently, allegedly, is happening with a small child in the home.
Right. And at the very least, the child was present under the same roof when this was going on. And at the very worst, the child was involved. And I actually think back to the beginning of my career. I was actually involved in a child custody case that had this type of, believe it or not, this type of activity in it. And this could be terribly, terribly traumatizing and deeply compromising for a child and for their development. And it's obviously its own form of trauma, abuse, and neglect. So the fact that the child is there is, all the more concerning.
Let's hope that the child wasn't anywhere near this. When they first charged this out, she, in July of last year, she had been charged with an additional 3 counts of possession of obscene material, including depictions of child pornography. So it said depictions of it. It didn't go any further in describing it in the counts. But then she ended up pleading guilty to the counts involving the dog, both felony and misdemeanor counts. So they must have dropped those other child depiction charges. I'm thinking maybe she was searching around on the internet for those types of things, but possibly. That's concerning, though, too, because if there was child pornography related stuff involved here, I mean, even looking at that stuff, that's very concerning.
Yeah,
absolutely. And you said before that seemed like a pretty stiff sentence. Well, I guess it really depends. For some people it's a very stiff sentence, and for some people it's not enough time. But there's indications that some of these tendencies may have gone into kids as well. And so this is a very, very mentally ill woman who needs a lot of help, and who certainly is a danger to society, pets and people alike, and really is going to need some significant treatment.
Yeah. I mean, 3 years. I mean, I don't know if it's stiff enough, obviously. I mean, they agreed to this sentence. So, I'm just hoping she gets out and doesn't do it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. With this show, I feel like they don't really go in. They go in depth. They give you some info, but I'm like, can you give us more info? Like, bro, I want to know more, because I want to know, like, I mean, you would never even know if anything was happening with the kid, because I mean, he can talk because he was talking to her, but like, I don't know if he would like. I don't know, man.
Well, Dr. Daniel Bober, as always, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It's just a horrible case. Hate to have you on to talk about something like this, but this is unfortunately the world we live in.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Samantha White will be placed on the Animal Abuser Registry. John White's case is still pending, and he's in custody at the Lee County Jail. And that's it for this episode.
They gotta both be locked up. He recorded it. She did it. I mean, excuse me. They say his case is pending. That don't mean he ain't getting locked up. But I believe that they should both. I think they should both get 5 years, because they had a kid in the house too. Who knows what was going on? How do you possess child and you have a kid? Even if you didn't have a kid, why are you looking at or in possession of child? I don't understand why grown adults who can have sex with each other have fascination with kids having sex. I don't understand it, let alone dogs.
They look at me and they making assumptions. I'll be the type to go stay in the function. She in my line, my number one munch. She like the way that I pull up and punch. I like to fill up my days with production. And then when the night comes, filled with seduction. Can't shake that feeling. I walk out on stage, I look at the crowd, these bitches is joke. Keeping it cool, but I've been getting paid. I'm making it rain, I'm hauling they pains. Jumping the pool with my baby today. She won't go crazy, want me my lady. Comfortable keeping my life on the low. She wanna post all the pick us up. Don't wanna elevate, you gotta go. We can't be out here not chasing our goals. No, I ain't changed for no. I guess my paths are slow. Yeah, I got my ass on the soul. Yeah. How do I got all this motion? I'm trying to stay mellow. Put on a show in the garden, I'm feeling like mellow. Think that I'm talking about like I'm double D and yellow. Now on the topic, I've been on my foot on the pedal. I started going my own way. Learned how to carry my own weight. My time was coming, so I started running. The ball don't come and I ain't saying nothing. Back in the 7th grade, I was just bumming. And now I be thumbing it out in the gun. Give me a medal, I'm getting it done. She asking my high like a mellow or something. Daddy be minding my business, they saying hello. Treating this life like a game, I just beat this level. Truly, I know that I'm blessed, I be feeling special. If you want to talk about hits, then I'm having several. I'm on a late night talk show, something like that. I'm grabbing all the boys, you get in the elbow. My niggas been making noise, get you digging the memo. Yeah. Right when I talk, they repeat what I say, I'm hearing the echo. Yeah. Haven't been hitting the club, I'd rather go chill in the meadows. Shawty treat me like a king, I like being a pharaoh. I like being a pharaoh, and I can't never settle. My girl one day ain't she cool. I'm trying to pick out yellow or blue. How do I got all this motion, I'm trying to stay mellow. Put on a show in the garden, I'm feeling like mellow. Think that I'm talking about like I'm double D and yellow. Now on the topic, I've been on my foot on the pedal. I started going my own way. Learned how to carry my own weight. My time was coming, so I started running. The ball don't come and I ain't saying nothing. Back in the 7th grade, I was just bumming. And now I be thumbing it out in the gun. Give me a medal, I'm getting it done. She asking my how